In a 4-3 ruling with the 3 liberal justices opposed, the Supreme Court upheld the lower court's order to the Biden administration to reinstate the Trump Remain in Mexico policy. That required asylum seekers to stay on the other side of the border while their applications are considered. Border states sued, arguing that Biden's move had brought back the catch and release inside the U.S. and spurred a massive wave of illegal immigration that endangers their citizens' health, safety, and security. Biden's laughably named Department of Homeland Security expressed disagreement with the ruling, saying, quote, DHS has appealed the district court's order and will continue to vigorously challenge it. As the appeal process continues, however, DHS will comply with the order in good faith, end quote. That would be a refreshing change, just to see the Biden administration actually complying with the Supreme Court order. In case you weren't sure, the appeals process normally ends when the Supreme Court rules against you. In the meantime, if the DHS actually has any real interest in Homeland Security, they might ponder on whether there are negative ramifications to the current policies of having an open border, releasing illegal border crossers inside the U.S., and encouraging America-hating jihadists all over the world by surrendering to the Taliban. In a related story, if you forget about the massive security problem represented by our porous border, that's not by accident. Even though the illegal immigration crisis is worse than it's ever been, the Biden lapdog media have been doing their very best to wish it away by simply ignoring it. Newsbusters reports that coverage of the issue on the Big Three networks' nightly newscast has dropped by a chilling 96%, even as the crisis worsened. I know Biden's Afghanistan blunder has been taking up a lot of space in the news lately, and rightly so, but this drop began as far back as March. So you can't blame it on the news cycle of the last 2 weeks. This is more deliberate than that. The good news is that viewers are figuring out that they can't rely on these sources to tell them the truth about what really matters, and they're tuning out in droves. In Sunday's cable news ratings, normally a pretty big day for news networks, Fox News had 16 of the top 17 shows. CNN's highest place was CNN Newsroom at number 15. MSNBC didn't place a single show in the top 30. It's no wonder, considering the jaw-dropping ways that they're trying to ignore, spin, rationalize, or somehow blame Trump for Afghanistan. Seriously, does anyone on the planet still think that these so-called news organizations are objective? If they do, it must be the same people who think Joe Biden is really calling the shots. Just look at this screenshot of MSNBC's website homepage. Now, there's not one single mention of Afghanistan at all. The big story isn't about American lives being in jeopardy, but rather the host of Jeopardy stepping down over some offensive jokes that he made years and years ago. I assume people who want to avoid offensive jokes are no longer watching MSNBC. In other news, you may remember that last year, then Governor Andrew Cuomo won an honorary Emmy Award because he apparently had so many people fooled into thinking that he was making good decisions to control the spread of the coronavirus in New York. He was such a good actor. The Academy and the mainstream media, including his brother Chris Cuomo, who hosts a rarely watched show on CNN, realized that Governor Cuomo's asinine decision to send COVID-positive patients back into nursing homes contributed to the deaths of thousands of elderly. Well, killing all the elderly in New York wasn't enough to sway the International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, but getting too hands-on with his staff apparently was. Because of that, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, what a relief it is to say those words, former, he not only lost his office, he had to give his Emmy Award back. Now, the idea that he was actually given an Emmy for anything other than acting was ludicrous. The TV Academy claimed it was for his use of television in conveying information and calming viewers and for effective communication and leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic. Most Republicans assumed, I think rightly, that it was liberal Hollywood's way of sticking it to President Trump by trying to hold up Cuomo as an example of what a real, caring, effective leader should be. Oh boy, did they ever miss the boat. Cuomo's caring, effective leadership was, like all other Emmy-winning shows, a mere fantasy. While Trump was shepherding the record-time development of the vaccines that Trump-hating Hollywood celebrities are now nagging us all to get, Cuomo was killing thousands of elderly New Yorkers by forcing nursing homes to take in COVID patients, then trying to cover it up. And that's not Republican spin. That's been reported by the most left-wing news outlets, organizations like the New York Times. It's very telling that the Academy is rescinding Cuomo's Emmy, not because all those people are dead, or even because of the lies and cover-ups, or because the thing that he was ostensibly rewarded for was a pile of horse droppings. No, it's because of something totally unrelated to why he was allegedly honored. He was accused of sexual harassment, something that Hollywood now finds intolerable after more than a century of refining it into a science. Obviously, the award was given for leftist political messaging reasons, and it was taken back for leftist political messaging reasons. Many commentators online have pointed out that if the Academy is really that serious about sexual abusers, why do other winners like Bill Cosby still have their awards? Truly, this ought to destroy the Emmy Awards' credibility and viewership if they still had either one. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll leave a like and a comment if you thought watching this video was a good use of your time, which, by the way, it was. And be sure to click on the subscribe button and the notification bell below. That way, you're going to know when my next video is uploaded. And if you want more of my takes on the news of the day, be sure to sign up for my newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com. You can get them delivered to your email inbox twice a day, and it's completely free. Absolutely, nobody's going to ask you for money to get the newsletter. Finally, I hope you'll keep an eye out for the live stream that we're going to be doing tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central. That's going to do it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.